Namaste to all my dear friends, masters, and gods. I welcome all of you to day one of Women's Healing and Empowerment Program. This program is very powerful program because through this we are empowering all the women rightfully, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. When a woman is spiritually and mentally empowered, the byproduct is physical health. We don't specially or specifically focus on anybody's health. We meditate, and that meditation gives us the emotional well being, mental well being, spiritual well being, which leads to naturally the physical health. Today, on day one, we are going to discuss about a very important topic, which is about the emotional turbulence. The week one, we will be discussing about the emotional well-being or emotional health of a woman. And this emotional turbulence plays a crucial role in this. So let us understand what is this emotional turbulence? How does it affect a woman's life? And what are different types of emotional turbulences? To start with, what is an emotional turbulence? Emotional turbulence is the inner state of mental and spiritual instability. When a person is stable, their outer world is different. Their outer world is also stable. But when a person is unstable, emotionally unstable, and mentally unstable, then that woman is not in control of herself. She's either anxious or she's emotionally drained. And this often give, gives birth to external pressures, unresolved emotions, and also because of this comes fear. One more major reason why a woman feels emotionally turbulent is because of the law of karma. The law of karma comes back to us in different ways. For some people, it is directly on the physical health. For some people, the payback is with the emotions. If in the past lives we would have hurt someone emotionally, then this time we have to pay back 10 times more with by giving, not by giving, by undergoing the emotional suffering. So the emotional turbulence is because of various reasons. And is emotional turbulence good? Not at all, because it impacts our decision making skills. When, as a woman, we are emotionally unsettled, what happens? We struggle to make clear and rational choices. Feeling too anxious about some argument which is going on at home, a woman hesitates to speak at work. This emotional turbulence also it drains the energy and it lowers the productivity. When there is too much of emotions going on inside, what happens? Emotions is nothing but the energy in movement. So too much of energy when it is in movement, too much of anything is not good. So when too much of emotional distress is there, it leads out to burning out, exhaustion. How many times that has this happened that you have got 9 hours of sleep, but you woke up very tired? So why? Because the mind is overthinking all the night, because of which emotions are unstable. And thus, there are sleepless nights. Or even though you had sleep, the mornings are very tiredful. And if you see, where does this all things affect to? We all are social beings. We all are family people. We all are in relationships, right? So this emotional imbalance creates misunderstandings and conflicts within the family members. Feeling irritated and snapping at a friend for no real reason, or just shouting on a family member, then later regretting it. How many times would it have happened? So, what's the root cause? Root cause is the emotional turbulence. This also, once your mental health is at toss, it will be reflected on the emotional health, and it will have a result on your physical health. When, if one day you don't have good sleep and you're tired, it's fine, you can compensate. If 1 week it is like that, it's still fine, you can compensate. Just imagine a person who's overthinking for years, and because of which the emotions are turbulent, because of which there is no proper sleep, because of which the person is waking up tired from many years. Where will this lead to? It will lead to chronic stress, and this will lead to headaches, digestive issues, hormonal imbalances. So, what will happen? It will have a hit on our direct hit on our physical health. Also, when all these different things are on toss, finally it creates a self doubt. It lowers the confidence just because the emotions are unsteady. In the same way, if your emotions are steady, if you're balanced, that woman, she will be a woman of abilities, a woman of capabilities, and a woman who can take her own decisions. There is no lack of talent with the women. Every woman is talented in their own ways. But what is lacking in them is emotional stability. And that is why Vidhyan is here to empower all the women spiritually, which involves emotional well being, emotional empowerment, mental well being, which is mental empowerment, and spiritual well being, which is spiritual empowerment. So, this emotional turbulences, they are of various types, or we can say they come out because of different reasons. For example, too many emotions at once. It leads you feeling lost or feeling stuck. Especially, when just take a common example of a new mother. She will be a first time mother. She will be struggling to balance her emotions between love, fear, exhaustion, multiple things. So, what will happen? Emotional turbulence. Emotional turbulence can also happen because of suppressed anger. Holding in frustration leads to sudden emotional outburst. You may be suppressing certain things for years, just acting normal, smiling, being happy. But one day, everything will come out. For a very simple example, suppose if you are a person who always say yes to everything because you don't know how to say no. So you will be like for everything, yes, okay, okay, I'll do. Okay, no problem. Okay, okay, yes, 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 yes. Unable to say no. So when you say yes, what happens? You take some commitment which you're not ready for. Then you have to fulfill. Frustration comes. Again, adds up, adds up. So slowly it piles up. Just because you're not able to say no, what happens? Emotions is piling up, stacking up. And one day this suppressed emotion will just burst out outside. So, always saying yes to others, but one day yelling at some small inconvenience. When you see what is the root cause, if you're not intelligent enough or smart enough, or you don't have that knack to find out why it is happening, you'll think maybe because of this small thing I've done something wrong, and you'll start correcting something which is actually doesn't have a problem. So, suppressed emotions also leads to emotional outburst. One more thing which causes emotional turbulence is guilt and shame. Constantly feeling not good enough or blaming oneself, blaming own self. Suppose a working woman feeling guilty for not spending enough time for her children. Guilt, shame. It's not a one day activity, right, where you feel bad. It is everyday activity. This is one common example I'm telling. You can relate with anything. Every day feeling guilt or shame for something which has happened in the past. So what does it happens? It creates emotional turbulence. So we should keep checking, is there any guilt and shame inside us? Because if it is not addressed, then it becomes a turbulence. Remember, anything beginning is not turbulent, it's very small, but piled up emotions becomes turbulent. Then one more root cause is anxiety and worry. Anxiety and worry, it is both something related to the future. Overthinking about the future leading to stress and fear. Maybe a simple thing, worrying about the financial stability. A woman, worrying about her financial stability, even when things are going well. See, anxiety and worry, that means overthinking of something for the future. Thinking will never solve any problem. Taking an action will solve a problem. So, but if we don't do it and we continuously keep overthinking, then it will create emotional turbulence. And one more thing which causes emotional turbulence is emotional numbness. That means feeling disconnected, or you could say unable to express emotions. It happens sometimes. Carefully observe when maybe things of your choice are not going around, or somebody has just criticized you, or could be a small joke or something which you didn't like, and immediately you will disconnect. We may think we are disconnecting from the other person, but it happens often that we disconnect with our own self. Suppose a woman who has faced multiple, you know, insults or heartbreaks, she stops feeling excitement or she stops feeling sad. That is called emotional numbness. Because of something happened in the past, you must not become numb. You must become strong. If you have seen so many deaths in your life, that should make you strong. But that should not make you, no, I don't want to see that. That is rejecting. If so many heartbreaks has happened in your life, then you must become very strong that next time if something happens, you have enough strength to tolerate it. You're coming out of it quickly instead of becoming emotionally numb, just freezing out when a situation comes. That should not happen. So all these things creates emotional turbulence, and we must always ensure that emotional turbulence is resolved. Emotional turbulence is natural because we are not in Himalayas. We are in proper realistic lives where we are in families, where we have our careers, and we are into meditation practice. We have a purpose, we have our passion, we have agreements, disagreements, and as women, we are a multitaskers, right? So, emotional turbulence being in such a world is very natural. But meditation, self expression, self awareness, emotional healing, all these things, swadhyaya, that means reading books, sajjan sangatya, all these things helps us to bring balance. When a woman learns to observe her own emotions rather than impulsively reacting on it, they regain that inner strength and stability. So, we must all always strive to be emotionally a balanced person. If anything around me is bothering me, I will immediately express myself. I will clear it then and there and I'll come out. or I will look for reasons to clearing it out because I don't want to carry anything inside me which is not relevant. Anything going here and there, I express it rightly, not by complaints, but by the right choice of words or with right music. Some or the other way, I express things out so that I'm ready for the new flow. Remember, emotions are energy in motion. So, if with any emotion you're struck, it could be anger, jealousy, hatred, revenge, any kind of emotion, if you're struck, that means that flow has stopped. Then how will the cosmic energy will freely channel through you? How will an intuition freely channel through you? Remember, channel only happens or very easily or often happens when the systems are free, when the inflow and outflow is beautiful, it is in motion. So that's why a woman should always keep herself emotionally pure, emotionally very pure. Your systems inside should be very neat and clean. It should be ready to receive and give, not ready to receive and hold, ready to receive and give. Yin and yang, receive, give, receive. So, emotions must be expressed rightfully. It's not that you express your emotions and then other person is saying, how will I now deal with it? No, you must express it in a way that beautifully it gets channeled. It will help you and also others. Thank you very much, Masters. This was all for the day one of Women's Healing and Empowerment Program.